Hey everybody, one last video message here. There's not much left to say, so it's Thursday, July 15th at about noon as I'm recording this, and of course this is the last day of our class, so your final paper's coming in, last little discussion board things, just sort of wrap up stuff. But obviously the main thing that you're concerned about is getting that paper in on time, clearly, and making sure you've attached the file correctly and just basic stuff like that. Shouldn't be any technical issues because none of this is any different than stuff you've done before, but weird things can happen. So double check, check into your email, because what I'll do is if I get a file that doesn't open or hasn't been attached right or whatever, I'll email you immediately, and so hopefully we can correspond quickly if something does come up and you can take care of that. Otherwise, as I've really harped on at this point, MLA, the works cited, the formatting for the whole works cited page for each of those entries, appropriate primary and secondary sources, all of that stuff needs to be in place, and of course in-text citation and use of those sources. All of that needs to be in place successfully at this point because it's the final paper, so if I'm not seeing that, unlikely for that paper to pass and thus for you to pass the class. So really at this point all of that stuff should be more or less correct. Obviously you can make a typo here and there, that's not a big deal, but major research basics kind of errors are really going to be problematic at this point. So just be careful and use the resources in the class and sort of trust what you know. I bet you know more than you think you know often. We can do things but don't have the confidence to do them correctly, so we overthink it or think it weirdly somehow and do it wrong. So trust yourself, and obviously you're sort of running out of time to let the paper sit and then return to it, which is very helpful in terms of editing, but there's still some time to turn your eyes to something else and come back for one last look over just to make sure everything's in place, and then to submit it. So I'm available kind of off and on throughout the afternoon. If you have last-minute questions, try to email me, but I can't guarantee I'll get back to you immediately, just depending on whether I'm at the computer or not. Again, there's lots of resources in the course, so you may find answers to basic citation and MLA questions are actually provided in the various examples through the units. So anyway, get that paper in on time. I can't accept any work beyond today, Thursday, July 15th, the last day of our class. And hopefully you had a good experience in 1102. So I look forward to reading everybody's paper.